Hello everyone, Giltar here with the third and final video regarding the three areas of discussion that I brought up previously in my most recent update video. This final area of discussion will involve simply my state of, I guess, feeling or impression of my hobby of model kits, toy collecting, and things like that. As some of you may know, I've been away from my YouTube channel for like a year now, and essentially I've been away from my hobbies for the most part. Now, I have been collecting things probably on average one thing or less a month. So I still have been collecting, but to be honest, not really involved in the hobby in any significant way. I'm going to just say right now, I'm really happy to be back into it. It feels really nice to have some time devoted to something I simply enjoy. And the thing is that for, I think, the benefit of my appreciation of this hobby, it was good to have time away. I think anytime that you are too embroiled or like deep into a hobby or any sort of, I guess, pastime, that it really does ring true with the saying of familiarity breeds contempt. And I think after an extended period of time involved in any sort of hobby or a pastime, that a person can lose perspective and lose appreciation for what they're taking part in. I can say right now, just right off the bat, I have not lost any enjoyment of this hobby. I really enjoy it. I'm really excited to be back into it and sort of getting back into it as well. I'm really liking a lot of the things I'm seeing on the market being produced right now and things that are coming up in this year. It's really exciting for me because I think, to my mind, and maybe it's just my perspective because of when I started collecting, because it was only a few years ago. But to me, it feels like this is kind of like the golden age of toy collecting and even like model kit enthusiasm, because we have so many things on the market right now that cater to the broadest spectrum ever, so far within the last, let's say, 100 years of, toy and model production and like just essentially hobby production. Right now, the companies that are essentially at the top of the market, the ones that are dominating, every one of them essentially has, for the most part, sort of a main division that caters to the general customer base. But they also have, divisions in which they develop product lines for the more, serious or diehard fans out there, the collectors, the people who are, more than just people buying things like this at a whim. These are people that incorporate their hobbies as a part of their lifestyles. I think that's a really great thing. Now, something I've also noticed upon returning to this hobby is, and not really just something I've been reminded of, and not in the best way, is that there are so many people that are disgruntled. They seem to be perpetually unsatisfied and dissatisfied with this hobby that they're involved in. It seems like no matter what is done by the companies out there, whether they're the official companies or third-party companies, these people are just, they're never happy with anything. They're always, I think, unreasonably and unfairly criticizing. They're always asking for that extra something that would not make sense from a business standpoint. And all I have to say is just, it's unfortunate that these people have such a hateful relationship. And I'm sure it started off as something that they truly enjoyed, but I don't know what it is. Maybe, again, it's just they've been in this hobby for so long that they've lost that perspective and lost that ability to appreciate what they have access to. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a privilege. It's not a right. No one is owed anything. I think the sort of, I wouldn't say trolls, but just the really grumpy, cynical, disgruntled division of the fan base of the collector community. These people are essentially, they just have a sense of entitlement that really doesn't make sense. And I think because of that, they sort of lock themselves into a sort of no-win situation in terms of their mindset. Like I said, no matter what is done, nothing will ever appease them. Nothing will ever make them satisfied. They're never happy with the developments that we're hearing all the time. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, these companies that we, patronize, the companies that we, give our hard-earned money to, for these products, they make mistakes and they make decisions that at times that we don't get. It doesn't seem to make any sense. But that's fine. At the end of the day, it's just a toy. It's just a model kit. And if you don't like it, you can simply walk away. No one's forcing you to stay in this hobby. And actually, it kind of reminded me of something else. Another hobby of mine is that I'm a golfer. I'm an avid golf player. And that is a hobby or a game that people play that can also bring a lot of frustration. I mean, the game of golf, at a glance, is quite perplexing. The idea of hitting an object the size of a golf ball hundreds of yards down a field that is littered with obstacles and things to essentially make your ability to get to that to the green, to where the hole is, where the flag is, it makes it so much more difficult. And people are like, why would you play such a game? It's so frustrating. And I mean, my response to that, as well as my response to the question of, why do you collect toys, or why do you build model kits, is simply, it's something I enjoy. It's something that, for many reasons personal to me, I can derive enjoyment from and satisfaction. And that hasn't changed. I mean, right now, having spent nearly a year away from this, I still feel the same way. And in fact, I think I feel even a little better now. I think, able to enjoy it and appreciate it even more than before. So yeah, it's really great, and I'm just happy to be back. I'm very thankful for all the warm welcomes by you guys out there who've posted comments and sent up video responses to my previous videos over the last day or so. It's really nice to have this kind of welcome. It really makes me, again, value and appreciate the kind of community that we have here at YouTube, and just the online community at large, where we can all share these things that we enjoy together. Now, I have one question. I do want you guys, if you have any thoughts about just how you feel about this hobby that we all share in the various areas of toys, model kits, and everything else and in between. How do you feel about that? What's your sort of state of mind, and if you have any sort of gripes, or what are you appreciative of at this time about your hobby? But I also have another question I'd like to throw in here for discussion. It's something that people ask every once in a while. I've asked this before in previous videos, but what are you looking forward to this year in terms of product lineup? There are so many things for me. I could spend the next 10 minutes or more just listing off things that I'm really excited for. But I'll just list one thing. And as a big time Transformers fan, I'm simply looking forward to the next Masterpiece figures that are set to be released this August, I believe, which are the three sort of Autobot car brothers, Prowl, Streak, and Smokescreen. These are great looking figures. They're, from what I've seen, still in scale from what's been set as a precedence from about Masterpiece 10 or Masterpiece Optimus Prime or Convoy version 2 onward, because these car Autobots are still basically the same scale as Lambor and Alert, or Sideswipe and Red Alert. And they come up to about Optimus Prime's hip, I believe, or just above that, which, according to the Animation Studios Sunbow's sort of character reference sheet, and you can find this online, but it shows a bunch of the characters lined up in scale. And if you look at that, Bumblebee in Generation 1, for example, would only come up to about mid-thigh of Optimus Prime. So if we ever see a Masterpiece Bumblebee, it should not be really any taller in robot mode, in humanoid mode, than Optimus Prime's like middle of its thigh. And at the same point, again, a Lambor, Alert, Prowl, Streak, Smokescreen, all these figures appear to only come up to about Optimus Prime's waist or just above that, which is excellent. I'm really glad that the Masterpiece line is sort of trying to reset itself in terms of scale. It seems like Soundwave also is in sort of proper scale. And the great thing about this is, Rodimus Convoy is also in scale. I believe Masterpiece Grimlock's in scale. Masterpiece Starscream is kind of in scale. I think it might be a little big, but being a sort of jet fighter robot, it should be about as big as it is. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next Masterpiece figures. I'm really happy about the fact that they're still being priced at about 5,800 yen for the manufacturer's suggested retail pricing, because that's the same retail price, I believe, that Masterpiece Lamborn and Masterpiece Alert were listed at. And if you pre-order at many of the online stores, you're going to get between 10 and 20, possibly even slightly higher amount of percent off of the sales price. So, for example, right now, Ami, Hobby Link Japan, probably Hobby Search, web stores like these will offer these figures on pre-order for about 20% off. So 5,800 yen is about $60 US at current exchange rates. So if you take 20% off, you're looking at about, mid 40s, about $45 to $50 in terms of price at that point. You still have to pay import fees for custom, possibly. You definitely have to pay, shipping fees, unless, they at that point of release come up with some sort of shipping fee reduction sale that they do use every time sort of big sales come along, at least once or twice a year. So if that happens, that's a bonus. But I mean, what we're looking at is if you get a Masterpiece Prowl, for example, from one of the online stores that offered at a really good price, even with shipping, you're probably looking at $70 maximum, which is a really great price point for a Masterpiece figure, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to again. What are you guys feeling about your hobbies at this time? And what are you looking forward to this year that's coming out later on? As usual, thank you very much for your time. I really welcome all responses, whether it's the text comments that you leave or video responses. Any kind of a participation in these discussions is very much welcomed by me. As always, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you at the next video.